All right, we are live.
Okay, well, this isn't the day we thought we were going to have, huh?
I know. I'm Rashonda Tate Billingsley, if you don't know,
I'm Victoria Christopher Murray.
and if we seem a little discombobulated, it's because, well, we are. Today has been one of the hardest days we've had in a while, right?
Yeah, started this morning with the vet waking me up, and I didn't answer her phone at first because I had stayed up late last night, even texting you
Hmm.
really late. And so I'm like, oh my God, she's just calling to wish me a happy pub date. And we got the news about Eric Jerome Dickey, and we couldn't get you for a long time.
I know I was on Do Not Disturb. But let's talk about that. So you're watching Politics, Prose, and Pop Culture, and we usually discuss the latest political, literary, and current cultural events. And today we had a lot we wanted to talk about. And in true Eric Jerome Dickey fashion, we are going to talk about that. But we wanted to start off a few moments just talking about Eric because we both have known him for years, and he's a literary giant to many, but he's a friend to us. Victoria, you
Okay, so that glitch came back again, so I hope I sound good to you. And I think what you said was that you wanted to spend a few moments talking about Eric.
yes.
And so I met Eric when I was self-published, and I actually met him and Lolita at the same time. And then because Eric and I lived in LA, we were on the same flight back, and the rest is history. And I remember doing a signing with him. We were at a Kwanzaa thing, and he kept saying, "I got two books. I got two books." And Rashonda, the best thing about Eric, as you know, besides being funny and smart, because he was an engineer,
Hmm.
but he wanted to become a writer. The best thing about him is that he shared everything he knew about writing with me. He read Temptation and he wanted me to become a better and the best writer. And he never, ever let up on my career. Never.
Hmm. But I think that's what made him so great with so many people. He was a cheerleader, and I was a fan before I knew him. And so to be here and to have him come in and say, "Okay, I read your book, I loved it." I'm like, "Yeah, right." Eric Jerome Dickey read my book, and then he started talking about it, and then he would tell others, and he was just always encouraging and cheering people on. There are so many authors out there that have stories of how he would post to his legions of fans, telling them about their work. And so he meant a lot to a lot of people. We would love to have you guys weigh in the comment section, just about what he meant to you, what Eric Jerome Dickey meant to you. I know some of you may have never met him. He was, you were just readers, but there are a lot of people in the writing community who he impacted in some way or another.
Yeah, as you know, Lolita's having a really hard time, so we'll fix that. But he just gave so much to so many, and if there's anything that those of us who knew him personally and readers could take from this is that Rashonda, this isn't a surprise.
Hmm.
Eric fought long. He fought hard. And the thing that, because a little while ago I was sitting in my dining room saying, okay, God, please let me get through this without crying, without any tears. The thing is that he has no more pain.
Hmm.
And so I will just get through that. And he was just a friend who was there for me beyond my writing career, making sure I was okay when Ray passed away, checking out some of the guys I was dating. I talked to one of them today, and he was like, Eric gave me a hard time, right? Um, but he will be greatly, greatly missed.
One of my favorite stories. Eric went and chased down. He texted me one time and said, "Is the pastor's wife out on video?" And that's one of my books. And I said, "No, it hasn't been made into a movie." So Eric went to this flea market and chased these people down that had they made my book into a bootleg movie. They'd taken my book cover and put it on the cover of the DVD, and Eric bought it. He charged them up, and it was like my big brother protecting me.
Yep, yep. He didn't let that up. So we are very saddened, but I think we are blessed to have known him and to have called him a friend. And so I think, well, that's where we should land, and that's what we should remember.
And as we close out, I'm just remembering Eric Jerome Dickey. We want to tell people his new book that is coming out. I meant to look up the exact date when it was coming, but
it's in April.
It's in April. I've been told that it is one of his best, as if that's even possible.
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised, because that's how God works.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised, and we know he was the master at the craft.
Oh yeah, I would study Eric as I was writing. I would literally study his books. I'd read for entertainment and then go back and study them.
Yeah, amazing. So we will miss our friends.
We will. And so, as I told Victoria today, so April 20th, they just told me the release date. Thanks, Jada Walker. It's April 20th is his release date. But go ahead and pre-order the book now, just because, as a way to pay tribute for all that he's done. But as I told Victoria earlier, Eric, we kind of went into this cocoon when we got the news. But Eric would be saying, really? So y'all just not going to do anything? Victoria has a new book out today, and y'all not going to talk about it? Y'all just talking about me? He would not want that. So in true Eric fashion, and with him, see, I don't have a physical copy. Eric would want us to say congratulations, Victoria Christopher Murray, on the release of we have 30 something books. We don't even know anymore, but tell us about it.
Yes, well, we're not going to say too much, because we want people to come out Thursday night, but this is the 4th installment in the 7 Deadly Sins series. And what I love about the series is that they're not connected. So you can read any book in any order. But Rashonda, I think this is my best one. You know how long it took me to write it, and my agent definitely knows. And which is why it didn't come out last June, because it was 6 months late turning it in. But it was my best book because it challenged me. Mm-hmm. And I had 3 different drafts. The first draft was just too much of wrath, and who wants to have that all through the pages? Mm-hmm. The second draft was too strong for him. And then you're like, well, what is she doing there? And then the third draft, I finally got it right. And I'm just I'm proud of this, because this is a hard sin, because how can you make someone who was filled with rage? Mm-hmm. But this is, what Simon Schuster said is that this book is about a relationship that is caught between the crossroads of passion and rage. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to have a Zoom launch party on Thursday, so people can check my page or your page or any page to sign up for it, because we're going to be giving out free autographed books, even if you have one. Actually, what I'm going to do is give out 2 sets of the complete set. Okay. And then at the end, we have a special guest coming in. So but you're not. You're not the special guest. So.
I'm not, but I'll be there. I had the pleasure of reading an advanced copy, but I'm an audio girl as well, so I'm listening to it on audio, and I will be ready for the release party. Really excited about this, and what people don't know is that also will be a movie. Lifetime has already done 2.
Yeah, and so the next 2 will be Greed and Wrath. And so very, very, very excited about that. So we'll have it. So everybody, please come to the Zoom meeting. And first, please order the book, buy it. And people always ask us, Rashonda, if we want the paperback book or the ebook or the audio book. It doesn't matter. None of that matters at all. Either one, whatever suits you. And if everybody can do me a favor, if you bought one book and then you told just one person and they bought a book, you've already doubled my sales.
And that's what we want. I don't think people realize authors preach this, but that first week sales that's crucial. And so even if you're like, I'm busy, I don't have a lot of time this week to read, go ahead and buy it now.
Yes.
just because we need Victoria to have those sales.
We need the sales now. So, and then we'll have a full hour to an hour and a half of a book signing on Thursday.
And so I put up Nicole Bird Faulkner, who works with us at Brown Girls. She gave the link for your for your Wrath Zoom launch. So if you go into the comments section, you can see that and click on that to our RSVP. We're going to have a great time.
Okay. And so, while tonight really is a show about politics, prose, and pop culture, because Eric was our pop culture.
Yeah.
I'm the prose. So I'm doing a good job, Rashonda, right? Holding up the book,
are.
because you know how I'm not.
You
so
are.
we have to talk about a little bit about politics.
And you know she wasn't going to let you get off of her screen without talking about the Georgia Senate race. I'm keeping an eye on it. I know you've been watching it all day. What are your thoughts?
You know how I felt about Biden. You know, I knew Biden was going to win when everybody else wasn't sure. I knew what I knew. This one I don't know. I just don't know. Mm-hmm. And so we will see. Whether they win, whether we get the Democrats in, will make a major difference in what's going to happen in the next 2 years. We're either going to have legislation passed or we're not. And there's nothing else we can do. We've sent money. I sent out 200 postcards. We posted. Nothing else we could do. I do want to tell people about what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a hot mess. Trump has encouraged his people to come to DC. And what's so interesting is that tomorrow is a day that happens with every election that we don't know anything about. Mm-hmm. We never know anything about this that's going on, which is just Congress taking all the votes that have already been certified and saying, hear ye, here are the votes. It's very ceremonial. And so they've changed it into something else because Trump and his people have people believing that something else can happen. Yeah. And so by the Constitution, did you know that an election can be overturned? But it can only be overturned by both houses.
Right. And I think that's what people aren't seeing. And they're thinking that Mike Pence can come in and do something because Trump is calling on him, but he really can't. He'd have to get all of the senators to vote to overturn the election. Many of the GOP senators have already said they're not going to do this.
They're going to stand by the Constitution.
Right.
They're going to stand by the Constitution. But this is what they can do. When somebody says, I object, and then somebody in the Senate objects too, then they can debate for 2 hours going back and forth. And so, and then it's a debate 2 hours every state. Mm-hmm. So something that would have normally taken 30 minutes, tomorrow may not be decided to Thursday morning, but make no mistake about it, on January 20th, Trump is fired.
We had a question from Valicia Bookman. Why is he committing treason like it's okay?
Yeah, now, so the word treason is a word that I don't use a lot because treason means going against the government using another government, and usually it's during an act of war. But what this is sedition. And what that means is going against your government with your words and your actions. Mm-hmm. And so why is he doing it? Donald Trump has never had a love for this country. He doesn't care about our democracy. He doesn't care about the Constitution. Donald Trump doesn't care about Melania. Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump. And so he's doing this because he wants to remain the president. What I don't know is why. I don't know if it's just an ego thing and he doesn't want to be called a loser. I don't know if it's because he's afraid of what may happen to him when he leaves office, though I'm one of the people that doubt that he'll ever face any criminal charges.
And I think he knows that. I think it's all about ego. He does not want to be labeled a loser.
Yeah.
And so he has said he's going to fight like hell to hold on to the presidency. He is like the disgruntled tenant who got kicked out, got evicted, and plans to destroy all they can on the way out. The only problem in what he's burning down is America.
Yeah.
I'm ready for him to go.
I'm ready for him to go too. And I just want people to understand that while the senators are not going to vote for, there'll be 12 of them, but the majority will vote for Biden. And the House, that's Nancy. She ain't letting nothing happen over there. I just want people to know the importance of not only knowing who's in their House of Representatives and their senators, but being very active and calling them. Because can you imagine if we did not have the House? I could not guarantee you that they wouldn't overturn this.
Yeah, yeah. We have a question, and this is a good one that we had because you talked about this from Tyrone Malone. What can be done with this audio we've all heard? Any laws that can be applied to this act?
Yeah, there's a young African American woman who is the district attorney in Fulton County, which is where this took place. First of all, I think Trump was at one point saying, "I'm gonna sue them." Well, Georgia is a one person. Only one person has to know that the call is being taped, and the Brad, I can never say his last name, Raffensperger or something. He had his attorney there, so he wasn't doing anything illegal. So she has to determine if any laws have been broken. Now, here's the thing. There may not have been laws broken. I know we listen to it and say, this dude was trying to get 11,780 votes. He's breaking the law. There is something that he can say that is the truth. He can say, his attorneys can say he was delusional and that he really believes he won. And I don't think Trump believed he won in the beginning, but I think by watching all of those doctored videos and hearing all the lies and reading all this stuff on social media, I think he honestly believes that he won.
Mm-hmm.
He's delusional. And that is a defense. Did you know that, Rashonda?
I did. And that is one thing that he will be accurate about. He is delusional.
He is delusional. And I never knew that was a defense. So I think I'll just do that from now on.
Anytime you get in trouble, but you don't have.
I will say, I did not see that red light there, cop. I did not, officer. It wasn't a red light. It was green. He's like, you're delusional. I'm like, that's my defense.
Yeah, you don't have the complexion for that.
That's true.
That's
sorry. True. That's not going to work.
All right. We don't want to keep people too long. We thank you all so much for tuning in to Politics, Prose, and Pop Culture. Again, much, much love to Eric Jerome Dickey. Our hearts are with this literary giant and friend. Victoria, you want to close us out?
Yeah, I just want to say, rest well, our sweet, sweet friend. He was a gentle, gentle man, and I just know he has earned his rest.
He has. Rest in peace. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.